Brittney Griner, who was imprisoned in Russia in a man's prison, which I had no idea about.
Brittney Griner is under fire for extremely aggressive behavior portrayed toward Caitlin Clark, the rookie from last year, the one that has everybody's focus in the WNBA. And this incident has, of course, gone viral online, but also sparked up some other skeletons in Brittney's closet that she probably wants.
There is criticism about Brittney Griner for incredibly hostile conduct expressed to Caitlin Clark. The last year's rookie was the one. It has everyone's attention in the WNBA. And, of course, this episode is over. Wildfire on the internet, but it also generated some further secrets in Brittney's wardrobe that she most likely desires to be Brittney Griner simply went into full panic mode after startling medical information came to light when she assaulted Caitlin Clark. The doctor's disclosures have shocked ripples across the WNBA and outside of what they found that whatever we believed we were aware of this dispute, Griner is scrambling in the league, quiet, and the truth is at last emerging to illumination.
Caitlin Clark. Now, Brittney Griner literally represents the woke trifecta in sports. She is black, she is gay, and she is a woman. However,
which is much more startling than what the physicians disclosed regarding Griner or the WNBA's total quiet regarding these medical, discovering that the WNBA world has completely changed, totally inverted, and Brittney, for reasons, Griner is in full panic mode that surpass her bigoted assault on medical experts in Caitlin Clark have came out with disclosures that are creating Griners because they're so explosive. Comments from garbage, white girls appear to be kindergarten playground conversation about the quiet from Griner, and the office of the league is not simply suspicious, but now it's outright incriminating.
Ellie's point, though, I think it is important. If the inverse had been said by a white person, just imagine the outrage that would be taking place right now. There is just so much hypocrisy in every institution, but particularly the WNBA, who are very fond of virtue signaling. But even when it comes to Brittney's exchange for, like, the Merchant of Death, which is insane, by the way, but had that been just like a straight white girl, my guess is that straight white girl would probably still be rotting.
Let's begin by discussing what actually took place during that time. Clark was elbowed in by the notorious game grinder, what can be characterized as a. Then, the intentional attack was discovered. The camera is obviously mouthing trash effing the white girl leaving the court. The lip was very evident in the video. Several people verified the reading specialists, and the racist intention was unquestionable. But this is where the tale begins. Takes a path that no one anticipated. Medical experts who examined the video didn't only highlight Griner's words, they began to examine her physical attributes and conduct. The patterns they discovered have shocked waves that pass through the sports medicine community and posed inquiries that the WNBA is completely unwilling to respond. These are neither wild hypotheses or conspiracies. Speculation. These are medically trained experts highlighting inconsistencies that require examination.
Apparently, Brittney Griner is, in fact, a man. And one of the videos that give us cause to say that is this video. It is from her Instagram stories from years and years ago. It says on here 109 weeks ago, and I believe this was screenshotted and posted a year ago. So quite a while. Let's go ahead and watch this, and we'll talk about what we think after.
Flag you, Brittney. Let me see something real quick. Brick, thank you. Get the hell out of here, yo. Jab stepping, just a brick. Swing and a miss.
The initial warning sign that alerted medical. Griner's bone structure was the focus, and patterns of muscle growth in sports. Physicians that specialize in athletic performance in relation to gender began examining her physical attributes, and what they discovered deviates from the norm. Female athletes' shoulder development, breadth of the jaw structure, and the general skeletal frame displays traits that are very uncommon among biological females, even professional athletes. But the medical doctors, the analysis didn't end there. Began to listen to Guerrier's voice, patterns, biomechanics of movement, and even her history of injuries. The combination of elements they found have resulted in a medical opinion, which is unquestionably terrible for the WNBA and Guerrier. Several separate medical experts are now asking if Guerrier has received the appropriate biological confirmation for women athletic contest.
Nation is to say that this person is not a female. Firstly, because this was actually posted to Brittney's personal Instagram. And when it comes to Instagram, they use a combination of like AI detection and plus manual surveyors, but specifically the AI detection to make sure that no explicit content ends up on the platform. So clearly whatever AI detection system was used when Brittney posted this and it stayed up for 106 weeks was not like, oh, this is a bare female chest, we have to take this down. It obviously assumed that Brittney was male and therefore being topless on the platform was totally fine. It did not
The fear that Guerrier is currently going through isn't simply regarding the repercussions of her racism. Remarks on the potentiality that these discoveries in medicine could reveal something far more significant than the doctors. Results indicate that there may be basic inquiries concerning her eligibility to play sports for women that have never been adequately addressed. When looked into, this is where it gets incredibly fascinating from a medical perspective. The examination of that. Griner's topless Instagram post demonstrated traits that several physicians discovered that women were inconsistent with. Anatomy, the muscle structure of the chest, definition, and general development of the torso revealed trends that these medical professionals usually work with, not female athletes, but masculine physiology, who have had surgery of any type. Protocols.
The WNBA's Brittney Griner is, in fact, a man. And where a lot of this actually surfaced from, and I mean, you guys could probably say, like, yo, isn't it obvious? Like, her voice, you know, there's a lot of things that you can kind of look towards. However, this video actually resurfaced. It's an Instagram story from, I believe it says 109 weeks ago. I can't see from here, but over 2 years ago, that this video was recorded and it was recently leaked on Twitter. So Kelly, if we can go ahead and play this video, please, and then we'll have a discussion.
Value, Brittney. Let me see something real quick. Brick, thank you. Get the fuck.
Damn.
Look at the
System's inability to identify the material as female nudity is more than just a fad. Glitch, which is proof that automated methods that are intended to identify biological. Griner was not classified by any attributes. These AI systems are trained to be female on countless photos and are incredibly reliable in determining biological sex attributes. The reality that the system permitted the content to stay up implies that it understood the anatomy of men. Additionally, medical professionals are pointing to Guerrier's recuperation and injury trends times as supplementary proof that their worries about her capacity to take in contact, recuperate from physical strain, and retain muscle mass by adhering to routines. That sports medicine is linked to male athletes as opposed to female ones. Rivals differences in bone density, composition of muscle fibers, and overall physical toughness produces benefits that require no training. Can get past the psychological evaluation is just as detrimental to mental health. Experts who have examined the video draw attention to Guerrier's assault on Clark, patterns of conduct that indicate deep-seated rage and bitterness that surpasses the typical level of competitive intensity. The deliberate character of both the physical abuse as well as the racist speech. Assault is a sign of psychological problems that could result from misunderstanding about one's identity or battle within. But here's what's causing Guerrier to go into a panic. the medical community is currently requesting thorough biological examinations that would unquestionably respond to inquiries regarding her eligibility for sports for women. These examinations would comprise chromosomal examination of hormone levels, bone tests, and muscle and density measurements, composition studies that might offer unquestionable proof of the whole biological status of the WNBA. Keeping quiet about these medical discoveries is so overwhelming that they've had several chances to deal with the independent order for the doctor's worries, testing, or offer any clarification regarding Guerrier's eligibility. Rather, they're pretending that none of this exists, is being placed while maintaining protection Griner from any significant repercussions regarding her actions. Medical experts are also posing queries over the league's testing procedures and verification processes. How did someone has the physical attributes of Guerrier obtain clearance for the women's tournament without causing concern? What sort of there was medical documentation available, and who was in charge of confirming its authenticity? These are inquiries and that are crucial to competitive. The fear of honesty in women's sports thing Guerrier is going through is additionally pertaining to the legal ramifications of these discoveries in medicine. If it's found that she has been participating in, it might be on false pretenses, invalidate years of accomplishments, titles, and keeps track of the consequences alone could be disastrous, with possible legal action from other athletes who missed out on chances too. Someone who wasn't supposed to be qualified. 2. Experts in sports medicine who compete are highlighting the fact that the physical benefits Griner screens aren't only slight variations, they're essential biological advantages that lead to unjust competition. Her height reaches the bone, muscle mass, and density are advantageous that female athletes just can't compete with through instruction or organic growth. These benefits increase much further troublesome once they're accustomed to assault and physical intimidation. Lesser female rivals such as Clark. Guerrier's medical evaluation, acting aggressively toward Clark, takes on fresh meaning when perceived through. Guerrier has been lurking behind this lens. Biological advantages in a competitive setting, opposed to biological females, then her. Clark's physical abuse escalates into more heinous. It's not only unsportsmanlike behavior, which could a male biologically using better power to threaten and hurt a woman. Rival mental health specialists are contributing to the psychological effects of this dispute are affecting other female athletes in the league. Observing a person with doubtful physical eligibility, assault, and racial discrimination inside the leagues. The largest celebrity conveys a message that women in their own sport, athletes, are not safe. The psychological harm extends beyond individual participants to impact the whole. The women's basketball culture. The role of the medical community in this controversy has given legitimacy to worries that were previously written off as conspiratorial theories among medical professionals. Experts begin to ask questions concerning competitive eligibility. It becomes impossible to overlook by the league or divert their worries to the scientific evidence necessitates examination, but medical professionals who are silent are also highlighting the wider ramifications for female athletes if these issues are confirmed. The standard that would be established by permitting someone with doubtful biological standing to dominance and competition could open floodgates for comparable circumstances throughout all women's sports. The honesty of female competitors must have a clear biological limits that are appropriately perpetuated. The fear that Griner is additionally experience is connected to the possible criminal repercussions for her attack on Clark in the event that medical analysis finds that she made use of a biological male benefits to assaulting a woman physically. Rival, it can make the incident more serious, from a straightforward attack to something substantial. the legal system takes a more serious, radically different perspective on violence when there are notable physical discrepancies between the parties. Professionals in sports medicine are urging the prompt adoption of thorough testing procedures that would confirm the biological condition of all WNBA players, the existing framework of self-identification, and a minimum of the documentation is obviously inadequate for preserving the integrity of competition. Female athletes should be aware of that. They are in competition with biological females are not opposed to those with unspoken privileges. The Griner's medical disclosures also provided fresh insight into her earlier remarks regarding fan reactions and crowd noise. Complaints regarding heightened awareness and scrutiny becomes a new significance if she's been concealing something that might revealed by more thorough investigation. The victim attitude and defensive posture seem more reasonable when considered as attempts to divert attention away from awkward queries that healthcare providers are also examining the larger trend of the violent actions of Griner. Throughout her career, she demonstrated the regularly using physical force to intimidate, the tendency to focus on smaller players, and the seeming pleasure in causing opponents discomfort all correspond with characteristics of conduct that athletes. Psychologists work with people who are keeping important secrets regarding their qualifications or identity. The panic that Griner is going through goes beyond her network of WNBA supporters, other athletes, coaches, and the league. Authorities who have safeguarded and made it possible for her actions are now possibly involved in a far more significant scandal if the medical data demonstrates what several are worried that it would implicate many individuals throughout the organization in hiding competitive. The global ramifications of fraud are also noteworthy in light of Griner's prior Russian legal issues. If medical, according to analysis, she was in competition while pretending to be someone else. The United States in global competition that could lead to diplomatic issues and prompt inquiries regarding